military training, and how has it allowed me to survive stuff and thrive in almost any environment, in every environment I think I've ever existed in. So, probably have a background, childhood very much like a lot of you lot. I went to a prep school, a bit like kind of Wellesley House kind of thing, and then I went to a grammar school, skin of my teeth grammar school, and I'm a very firm believer in grammar schools have their place, that kind of thing, but if like me, massively academic, you are not always in a comfortable place academically, but nonetheless you crack on. I often think I just sort of float along. I'm not massively conscious of what I'm doing at that time, and it just sort of happens, and stuff happens, and then you just go, right, just get on with it and do it, and then something else happens, you just get on with it and just do it. And then suddenly you go, oh, hang on a second, I'm 40 last month. What the hell just happened? 20 years ago, I was like you lot, a bit more than 20, as you don't know, 40, etc. I was just like you lot, and then suddenly, like that, bang, it's gone. And all the pictures behind you are stuff that's happened in that gap in between. And it's pretty bonkers, because if I could pick a moment, there are just so many. So I went through school, then sort of finished school, university. At university, a friend of mine said, why don't you try the OTC? The hell's that? It's like cadets for students. I hated cadets at school, honestly I did. It was boring, it was just nonsense, it was just marching around and very little other stuff. I thought, I don't really want to do that, it's not really what I'm into. Massively into sport. So I went and do loads of stuff. Anyway, got into that. Unbelievable time, amazing time. Cross-country ski competitions, climbing in Germany, mountain biking, paddling across half of America, sailing, loads of stuff. I thought, this is fantastic, this is what the army's like, I am definitely going to join. Oddly enough, joined the army, never did any of that, but it's pretty standard. So anyway, then thought, I'm going to join the army as an officer. A friend of mine joined the Marines at the time, I thought I'll have a crack at that as well. Joined the civil and joined the Marines, civil and joined the army. And did dual selection for both. Now, selection for the army is like selection for the Marines. Basically, you have a pre-course to whittle out if you've got 2 arms and 2 legs and a vaguely functioning brain. Happy with that. And then the next process is simply slightly deeper, where you get really, really challenged. Now the basic format is you go somewhere, you just turn up in a suit, sort of really shiny brand new suit, because your mum's gone, what are you going to wear? I don't know, we've got a tracksuit and a t-shirt. That's it, student. So you get that stuff, alright, and then you just, you then go along and they say, right, tell us about yourself. And that's the proper thing, but it's really, but then you sit down, there's a really stern looking sort of panda in front of you, giving you a bit of chip about stuff. A little bit of icebreaker, then you go and you like command tasks. Here's a plank, there's a bit of rope, get across that. That load you. Then you got these frosted, super keen beams. I think we should be lit up for it. You go, right, then, well, what about that? I don't know. I don't know how to use it. Okay, what about that? And then somebody goes, actually, that's not a bad idea. Nobody listens to me. Quite a look. I'm going to listen to you now. So I'm going to edge off. Look, it's a bit like me, fairly reasonable, bit of common sense. That bloke over there. Oddly enough, we all pass. We all seem to be quite good at doing these things. We're not just, bimbling along going, I just cannot get chemistry. Organic chemistry? No. Inorganic chemistry? No. Further maths? What? I've got a C at GCSE, scrape that as well. And so I thought, well, actually, I'm not bad at this, I'm quite good. People seem to look to me for advice and leadership. And I seem to, when I then say, come on, let's go, come on, everyone's going to go, okay, let's follow that back over there. It's quite nice, this. I like being in charge. But then suddenly you get this thing that somebody says, actually, yeah, you're the bloke in charge, so we need to now do this, this, or this. What are we going to do? And you think, oh, okay, right, now I have to use my brain a bit more. And so you get challenged in these non-academic different ways. And where I just survived through school, played a lot of sport, being a prefect, did all the normal stuff, just academically running. Suddenly I started to thrive in this sort of military environment. I'm not bad at this, what do I do? I can strip and reassemble a rifle, literally blindfold, in under a minute. It's not bad, really. Just try your shoelaces. Literally, find a shoe, put it on your foot, lace it, tie the lace, completely blindfold. Less than a minute. I could do it with a rifle, complete rifle, strip down, complete rifle again. Not bad. That's not bad, is it? That's all the officers start. The officers do that. Oh, there go, there, chaps, like this. Again, that's not all like that. You know, there's a captain now in the reserves, back in the army sort of thing. It's not really what we're about. And so, I then thought, actually, it's not bad. So go all the way through, go pre-briefing for Sandhurst, then you go for a proper army officer selection board, as it's called now. It used to be the regular commissioning board. Passed that straight away. Did the same with the Marines. Passed the Admiral Interview Board. Marines said, you've done well, done all right. No place for you this year, but you can join next year. Just had a gap year. What are you going to do? I don't really fancy getting about. The Army said, yes, you're ready to go now. Let's do it. I think, right, let's do it. I'm in. Turn up at Sandhurst, iron board under one arm, shiny suits back on, a few bit compliments on. You know, the lash on the big box, mum and dad. Nervously dressed up, honestly glad back to dad's in a suit, strolling around, not really clue what he's doing. It's a chartered accountant. What does that do? It's a colour sergeant, I don't think. Into the room, suddenly all hell breaks loose, colour sergeant comes in, Dave, at my height, look like. Amazing soldier, in a regiment called the Black Watch, Scottish regiment. Inspirational man, nutter. Absolute nutter, crazy man, but took me from okay, bit of student, you know, did a bit of student stuff, fancied myself as a bit of soldier as a student, did a bit of time away with different regiments, playing around, this, that and the other, did a bit of a few cross-country ski competitions, did a couple of arduous courses, got asked to go and join the Marines. He took me from that bloke, who was a bit cocky to be honest with you, to actually being a fully fledged, ready for anything person, and I mean ready for absolutely anything. After Sandhurst, and there's some funky stuff happens at Sandhurst, basically it's sort of like sleep deprivation for a year. If anyone's sort of has a young child at home, the only thing I'm going to equate to is a newborn baby for a year, but then at the same time you have to learn how to be a leader and a soldier at the same time, whilst also carrying almost your own body weight and then sleeping in a hole in the ground. So your survival time and your ability to then survive, process, understand, learn, move on, the next skill is pretty sharp. My platoon at Sandhurst started with 38, finished with 25. It's a fallout rate, was it? 13? 25%? A bit more? It's quite a lot. And then you suddenly realise that actually you're sort of getting weeded out bit by bit, the week are going, and they've gone through a really arduous process already, and they're getting weeded out. And there's guys there on monsters, massive weight, there's monsters, that double first walks, yeah, thin out fella, you can't even tie your own shoelaces in the dark. Guys who you really respect, your own peers, they fall apart, they get tired. It's a massive guy, I won't name him. No, I won't. Half Austrian, half English, grew up in France. When he got really tired, he was speaking 3 languages, German, French, and English, when he was tired. Pretty much every single time you went out in the field on exercise training in Sandhurst, you basically knew that was it. You're on the bus on the way there, you slept, because that's the only sleep you're going to get for the next 5 days. Pretty much. Get right home every night, if you like. Carry a lot of stuff. So bad, in fact, that one day, Ollie Knight, good guy, he's still in, by the way. He was a civvy before he jumped, like fully, he didn't have a clue about the Ollie, he was trying to give it a go. He's still in, he's really good. We were digging in, i.e. dig a trench this deep in the ground, alright? But it's also probably twice as long as the stage. But this wide, you live in it, you dig a hole, you tear off all the turf, peel it all back, you dig a bloody great hole in the ground. They normally get about a foot down and you hit solid chalk. It takes you about 3 days of solid digging. And I mean like 24 hours a day, 4 of them just digging. And at the same time, you've also got to conduct patrols, because the enemy might be there. They're not really, but you train for it. You go out, patrol, and come back in again, and you keep digging. Ollie Knight, because we're going to put a big defensive perimeter around us, where the enemy are coming from, Constantine White, Razor White. He's walking out the Razor White with another couple of guys, and he fell over in the mud. It was a ploughed field, walking across, and he fell over. They woke him up half an hour later. He said, as he hit the ground, he fell asleep. He didn't knock himself out. Boom. Where the hell's Ollie gone? I don't know. They cracked on with their bit. Where's he gone? Hauled him up. Another guy, Angus McLean. This is later on. Well, after Sandhurst, you go to Team Command's battle course. Angus won't mind this. He's brilliant. You used to call it the long blink. We might get it in a lecture. I'm not sure. You've been taking notes over at orders group, about on a mission, that kind of thing. Taking notes. The first 2 or 3 words in your sentence are brilliant. The rest of it just comes into hieroglyphics. Sometimes it's just a line. Right, so. Unbelievable. Sleep deprivation ruins you. You can survive that. You then start to get a bit better, you get quite tough into it, you get quite used to it. You're young, you're fit, you're able, you just crack on, it's fine. Team Command's battle course is quite hard work though, to be honest with you. You're learning your trade, you're learning to do what infantry does. Infantry is the army's like that. Infantry, what this is right there. And then just underneath them is infantry. And you know, when stuff happens, it's infantry that go in and fix bayonets and stick bits of metal in ladders and end them to varying effects. But once you get through Sandhurst, you then go to like another level, another world. It's in what's that called. You do that, and then after that you get the golden chance, and you get command. So you turn up your battalion, brand new, straight out training, and you have to take over a platoon of 30 men. 30 hardened soldiers who've been through multiple operational trials. You've got a platoon sergeant who's probably in his late 20s, early 30s. He's been in the army for 12 years. You've just done a little bit longer than 12 months, and you've got to hold your own. Now, the good thing is, I suddenly found out that I was quite good at that, and my lads got to know that quite early on as well. Cleaning rifles, first day there, lads are cleaning rifles. I'm English, very English. I joined a Scottish regiment. I can't even know. The Argyle and Sandhurst Highlands. In a room, one of them just gives me a bit of stick about something, just a little bit. And you know right there and then, that is a formative moment. There's something about to happen here. It goes one way, I'm going to get a very, very bad time. It goes another way, it might not work. Private Stewart, yes sir. Stand up please. Yes sir, can you lock that door? Click. Stand up, put my rifle down. Right, who's first? Free hit. It's the only time you're ever going to get your whole life to hit me. Nothing I ever mentioned again. But whatever happens to me, I'm going to have to be back. No, you're right, Osmali, Eroki. That's a Scottish accent. Alright? After that, they were brilliant. Now, they might be brilliant lads anyway. I never think about it before they were. You're right. But I took those lads on from there. We did stuff that you would not have believed possible. One of them being rescuing a drunken horse from the 4th floor of Brook Flats. It's hard when you think about it. But Ireland, first operational tour, a bit like your first love, you never forget it. First rounds coming my way, all around me, being set on fire. It's a bit weird. I have to admit, you're protected, but it's still, equipment's a part of it. First time I had people spit at me. You want to spit at me? It's a bit of a weird feeling, actually. Why are you spitting at me? Just doing the job. Okay. Very well. After that, somehow managed to wangle going to the Marines. Did my commando course. It's surprising more than that. Bit of paper saying I'm really good at this stuff and everything. Check me out. Went to the Marines. Did all sorts of stuff with them. That's Marine Florida, actually. That's us getting attacked by a helicopter that was nicked from the Russians during the Afghan conflict. Challenger 2 tank, it's quite cool. It's got a telephone in the back, you pull it out, you can talk to the driver. You get there, splendid, it's in the box. Because the tank is in the box. So, yeah, just found myself in the Marines, did Arctic warfare training. That's a really good one for striving for thrive and survive, because that, you got down to minus 45 ones for about a day, I always talk about minus 30, but minus 45 is colder than your fridge, quite a lot colder than your fridge, and it actually hurts just to breathe. See what I mean about that? It was pretty crazy. And then a year later, I found myself in Kenya at plus 45. There are all those things happening around you. Your body adapts, your brain adapts. And when you've gone through physical ardour, more than anything else, and your brain has to continue to function as a leader, and you have to be responsible for soldiers and men and yourself, and maintain perfection of yourself. I mean, I'm not talking about, cover photo model, but, clean, freshly shaved, clean clothes, immaculate, clean rifle all the time, that kind of stuff. And then make your soldier do the same, and it's minus 30, or it's raining, and your clothing is frozen on your body, or you've been set on fire for the first time that day, or one of your soldiers has been knocked out, or one of your soldiers' children has died. And you have to maintain a level, and you're only 23. Suddenly you kind of go, actually, check me out. This is amazing. I can do anything. And you kind of do. And I've kind of, without really thinking about it, I don't know if it was the army that did it. It certainly formed me into a person who I wasn't aware of, but there's something else deeper in there that has made a huge difference to me. And it is quite incredible. The army sees a thing in you, and it makes you. But there's something there before. And you don't know what it is until you get absolutely pushed to your limits in every single way. And suddenly you find it within you, and it works. Thank you.